Maxx Crosby. He's going to come in at the end, punch it out.
Holmes is sacked by Crosby, his second of the game.
Fighting safe target in the red zone. Here comes Crosby. Down goes Stidham.
Mad Max.
Just pure speed. That's another thing we didn't talk about.
Mad Max. Mad Max.
All right, boys and girls, welcome back. As you already know what it is, this is The Rush with the one and only Maxx Crosby. I am your co-host, Brogan Roback. We got our brothers DT and Creel in the house. Man, we appreciate all of you guys tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in the show, like, subscribe, comment down below. If unsubscribe, subscribe again. I don't care, but just do it and be active, be proactive. And we appreciate you guys. So this is episode 15 of The Rush, which is crazy. The boys have been cooking them out weekly. Feels like yesterday was the first episode. So Condor Cartel, the sport is crazy. But it was week 18 in the NFL. Raiders took on the Broncos in Allegiant Stadium, 27-14. Got in that ass both times this season. So it was a clean sweep for the Raiders. We'll jump into that game, Max. But, hey, you had a pretty crazy week in L.A., courtside, saw you on TV, dapping up with some guys. Max, talk to us about your week in L.A., brother.
Yeah, first off, big shout out to the whole squad getting the dub versus the Broncos. Every time we whoop them, I mean, it's a special feeling. So you already know how it is. It was great. We finished the season the right way. On a personal level, I was happy I got to finish the way I finished, and I know the guys were fired up too, getting after them. So big shout out to the gang before anything. But yeah, L.A., had to go out there, had my appointment with the GOAT, Dr. Elatraj. Got a nice little surgery coming up on the knee and also my thumb. Found out that was torn UCL, so I'm getting that fixed up. But we went out there, had my appointment. I decided, Rachel, I told her, I said, listen, we got Clippers playing on Wednesday, we got Lakers playing on Thursday. We're hitting the fucking games. So everybody in here obviously already knows I'm a diehard day one James Harden fan. Been rocking with him ever since he got to Houston. Weird long story, but I'm going to just give you all a little background just because I get a million questions. Why does Max rock with Harden? Why does he rock with Harden? So obviously I'm from Michigan. I grew up, in Michigan. I loved the Pistons when I was real young. They were really good. And then they went on a real bad, string of bad seasons, and it's still, I feel like it's getting worse at this point. But, I still support the Pistons from afar, but at that time, I was a little kid, and I was a fan of players as well. So D Wade, was my favorite player. So I started supporting D Wade, everything he does. I just like the way he played. And then, we obviously talked about our LeBron. Obviously we got a bunch of LeBron fans in here. But LeBron goes to the Heat, and I'm like, I can't tell people I'm a Heat fan. You know what I mean? It's how can I tell people I root
Sure you could.
LeBron and Bosh and all these guys. So Harden gets traded traded from the Thunder to the Rockets. I watched him play the Pistons the first game. He drops 37 and 12 and 6 or something. So I'm like, this is my new guy. He's on a new team. It's his own squad. And I've been rocking with Harden ever since then. So it's literally been 10, 11 years I've been rocking with Harden. So whole reason I'm telling you that is I've manifested this moment for a long time. I finally, I hit up my boy Slime. Slime knows his agent. I hit up CJ. CJ knows the people from the Clippers. And we got some great tickets. And me and Rachel went to the game courtside and got to chop it up with James pregame, and then postgame we got to link up and spend some time together, chop it up, and we locked in, and he hooked me up with a jersey. I got to send him a jersey, and it was legendary, bro. Like literally since a child, I've been a huge James Harden fan, and I've just been a fan of his game. He plays the game different, and it was crazy, bro. Surreal moment. Finally making that happen, and then Thursday, fast forward, I got a good friend of mine, Mike G, one of the biggest talent agents in L.A., good friend of mine, huge Raider fan. He hits me up, and he's like, bro, you got to come to the game with me on Thursday. Lakers playing the Suns. So me and Kevin Durant, we became friends this season. He hit me up, I think, after the Chargers game. And he was locked in watching us, and he's like, bro, huge fan, and we've been locked in ever since. So I told KD, I'm like, yo, I'm coming to the game. We got to chop it up and whatever. So we go to the game courtside.
It's pretty normal.
Got to freaking meet KD. Yeah, it's pretty normal. But got to meet Kevin Durant for the first time in person. Got his jersey as well. Had a little interaction with LeBron, which was nuts.
The GOAT.
I was
Please
sitting
tell
down
us
on the
about
side, and Yeah, it was crazy, bro. He's literally on defense. He's like, the ball just got passed. He's on defense. He looks over and he's like, "Yeah, you're a motherfucking dog. You're a fucking dog." He's like, "Well, you can't call me a little ass boy though." And he starts laughing. So we were fucking dying, and I was just shook. Like I'm like, this is fucking LeBron James, bro. Like it's unreal. Like I've been watching as a child, so it was crazy, bro. We had a little moment, and honestly, the whole like both games, like Paul George came up to me, Bradley Beal, like all these dudes I've been growing up watching. It was like the most surreal shit ever. So yeah, bro, it was a movie. But the good thing is I got my surgery scheduled, so we're locked in. I'm getting surgery next Wednesday, and getting everything figured out, getting everything fixed, and we'll be all straight and ready to get back to work here in a short amount of time. But yeah, it was an incredible week to say the least.
So were you fully anticipating to be able to get back there and chop it up with the boys after, obviously James Harden, pioneer in the game, you love him, obsessed might be a better word, but nonetheless, were you expecting though to be able to chop it up with him? And was there just any good conversation, like, from one legend, pretty much to another growing legend? I mean, I'm curious, I'm sure we all are.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Like I honestly I had no clue like that we were gonna be able to like actually spend some time together. And I'm walking out, like we chopped it up before the game. He was complimenting my my Prada fit. He's like, "Yeah, bro, I see you." I'm like, "Shit, I'm trying to get like you." We're just talking our shit. But then after the game, his agent ran up to me and was like, "Yo, like James is gonna be done. He's getting a little workout post game, and he'll be out here like 15 minutes. He wants to see you and whatever." So I'm like, "Shit, I'll stay right here. Like you just let me know."
The feet, get healthy.
Yeah, bro. I'm planting my feet there. I'm like, shit, I'll wait all night. So he came out, bro, and we just chopped it up. He was asking about, obviously my surgeries and shit, and he was wondering if I'm good. And I was just trying to figure out, the mindset around the Clippers right now, because I'm rocking with the Clippers and Harden. So yeah, bro, they got something special going. They got a real good team. Super talented, and they're making that shit come together. And I feel like him being the point now is just making everybody else better. So we kind of just chopped it up about that. And yeah, he literally said, he was like, "Listen, like for us, he's like, I don't even give a shit." He's like, "All that matters to me is getting a championship," and that's his main focus. So it was super dope, and he played well. Like he had a double. Freaking Paul George was balling, Kawhi's balling, and they're gonna be a hard team to beat if they stay healthy. So I'm hoping he can get a championship. That's the one thing that he doesn't have, and obviously people have their opinions on him, but if he gets a title, I mean, it's, there's no more argument. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, I go for LeBron. I want him to rack him up, especially at the end of his career, as much as he possibly can. The real LA team, I should say. But if LeBron doesn't get it, I can see myself rooting for James Harden and the boys, just because, obviously, I mean a lot to you, but they got a lot of guys doing the right shit, man. Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, who's a Hall of Famer, doesn't have to do that, but does for the betterment of the team. Just like you, and you obviously resonate with that more than anybody, Max. It's just the sacrifices that you constantly have to make, which you've made multiple sacrifices for your organization. You've made them for yourself, which we're going to get to in this episode. So, but one thing you and James Harden have in common, Max, is you both get down on the Zen water.
Yes.
Right?
Team Zen water. You already know. You already know we're locked in, the whole gang. So yeah, I mean, it just meant to be. He sees, him representing the same shit. We're locked in with the same business. So, it was just meant to be. It was just a matter of time. And there's one more thing I want to point out too, and it's funny because, obviously everybody has their social media opinions about certain players and things like that. But I will say this: we were at the game. I got there early. I told Rachel, I'm like, we're getting there an hour early. I want to make sure we see warm-ups. Like, I want to see how it is.
Yeah.
So we sit down. Harden was the first one on the court. He had the longest workout. He was the last dude to get off the court before the game. He got a workout after. And that's something that's, it's funny because people like try to, they talk about him going out and shit like that, which is obviously normal. Yep. But seeing him put the work in and shit like that, it was honestly, it was dope to see, because obviously people know, like, people give me shit like, how can you be a Harden fan when you're like, you work the way you work and shit like that. And getting to see like the reality of what it really is and seeing how he works was dope as hell. And yeah, it was awesome, bro.
Yeah. Well, obviously I'm curious, because if I went up to James Harden or somebody random person went up to James Harden, it'd be like I wouldn't say a fanboy moment, but it's like, holy shit, this dude's a legend. And like you just hit on, you're appreciating his craft, his work ethic, the things that people don't see and you understand because shit, you do that every day. You do it 365. We know that. Was that like a part of, obviously you guys are friends in that aspect now, but like, was it a big part of it just two professionals at top of their level, just, chopping it up and having that mutual respect for each other? Or did it feel like you were just chopping up with your family?
No, for me, it was kind of a mixture. Like, obviously I have like, there's no other player like living right now besides like Michael Jordan when I get the chance to meet Michael Jordan, but like that I would really fanboy over. And like I've been a fan since a kid, so it's just like a different type of love when it comes to Harden. And it was dope as fuck, bro. Like we talked on a professional level, obviously talking about his work ethic and what he puts into it and what he's wants at the end of his career. Like that was super dope. But at the same time, like the fact that I got to really have a conversation, like he was cool as shit. He had all his people with him and he embraced me like we've known each other for years. So it was cool as hell. And it just made me gain another level of respect because, like you said, it's all about sacrifice and putting in the work and what reality is. And, for him, like, people get certain raps. Like Odell got a super tough rap a few years ago. And like, there's certain guys that you make it to that level, like everyone's looking to bring you down. Mm-hmm. And for him, like he stayed consistent regardless of what everyone says. Like he goes out there, he produces. Like they literally wrote him off before the season. Like, oh, he's going to be out of the NBA, all this shit. And now he's playing at an all-star level again. So it's just dope to see. So I just want him to continue playing that way, and so the team can go and do what they ultimately want to do, and that's win a championship. So it's dope to see.
Yeah, definitely. No, cool to admire from afar. Obviously, he's a fan. He threw it up on the gram. You guys looked like you guys grew up together since childhood. So dope to see for you. Did anybody toss you the rock down there, give you a little couple of shots? And do you think that you could have scored 10 points on anybody out there if you played one-on-one?
I don't know. If I got like 30 something minutes, I feel like I could definitely maybe, hit a couple open jump shots, maybe a couple loose rebounds just purely off a hustle. But I will say this, out of both games, everybody was super impressive. Harden, Paul George, Kawhi,
Devin Booker,
all those dudes are ridiculous, and you already beat me to it. Devin Booker is fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
He is ridiculous. The dude is automatic, and Bradley Beal had like 37 last night. So both those dudes, I got to give my respect to them because they were ridiculous. And Kevin Durant, that's just, you don't even have to say anything. He's one of the greatest ever. One of the greatest ever.
Is Kevin Durant the biggest alien of like both like games? Just meeting Kevin Durant. He's like 7 foot tall, right? Like,
see, it's funny you said that. I thought he was going to be the biggest alien, and all of a sudden, Bull checks into the game, and then he looks like Kevin Durant times 2. Even skin, he made Durant look buff. So. It was crazy, bro. I've never seen anybody that big and lanky. It was honestly it was like
how the fuck does that grow? You know what I mean?
Bro, unbelievable. He had a couple of rebounds where he legitimately was like above the backboard, bro. It didn't look right. Yeah.
Hey, no, Max, that's actually fucking fire. Did any of them give you, or are you going to send any of them a jersey? Because obviously we saw 2 nights in a row, you got a jersey. Kevin Durant and James Harden. Did any of them want one in return?
Oh yeah, no. Harden said he's sending me the Addy, so I'm sending him the 9-8, and then Durant was hell bent on it. He said it before the game and after the game. He's like, I need that fucking jersey. I was like, bro, I got your number, so just send me the address. I'll send it right away. So yeah, bro, it was dope as fuck, and they were all so cool, bro. Like everybody was cool as hell, and it was super random, bro. Like, I don't even realize it because I don't go out much or anything like that. Like, I go to sporting events and stuff like that. But just being in LA, like, the fans, bro, they treated me like royalty, bro. Like, I was literally in the crowd after the game last night, like, literally with all the fans going nuts. And we're walking out the stadium. They're fucking mobbing us and stuff. Like, it was so cool, bro. But I tweeted after. I was like, literally, LA is a Raider town. And it really is, bro. Like, all due respect to the Rams and Chargers. But shit,
Yep.
Raider Nation
is California's team. It's what you're saying, right?
It's Oakland, it's LA, and it's Vegas. Like we have 3 towns, no question.
Yeah, no, that's dope, man. It was. I could tell they're showing a lot of love. It's obvious. It's an obvious reason as to why people call it sports luxury when you're there. So that's why LeBron's not leaving. And so I'm sure it's a surreal moment with you and LeBron getting to meet the GOAT. I'm jealous. I'm sure Darian is too. But Max, you had a great fucking game, bro. Great end to the season. It was huge, and momentum in there felt really, really good heading into the offseason. The dopest part, I think, was everyone chanting AP at the end of the game and him fucking going up and hyping up the crowd. Truly goosebump type thing, and it was loud in there. So if you weren't there, you could definitely hear it. But we'll get to all of that in our State of the Nation segment. But Max, 2 tackles and a sack. That's going to put you at 14.5 on the year, which is a career high now for you, bro. So congratulations on that. Super, super dope. And I know you're hunting for that season record sack. But we know it's coming. You're right there. But Max, just gonna pass it to you, man. What'd you think of the game in sort of a cap to the end of the season?
Yeah, bro. Honestly, it's crazy because, mentally all week, like, I've been battling some obviously shit all season. You know what I mean? From the knee to the last, like right before the Chiefs game, I got a freaking stomach virus. I'm puking my brains out, and all week versus the Colts, I'm like, my stomach is destroyed. So like, people don't even realize it, and that's what like, just makes me appreciate every single day and appreciate the grind of it, because it's, the football season doesn't stop for anybody. You're going to have to deal with shit, and you got to either step up to the plate or, complain about it. So for me, these past couple of weeks have been tough. I've been playing at a very high level, and like not having the sacks to come with it. Like I was super close. I had one taken away in KC, which is still bullshit. But the Colts one, I missed, let one slip right out of my hands. Like I was playing really well, getting TFLs, doing my thing, but I didn't get sacked. So like, you go 3 weeks in a row without a sack, and you're going to the last game of the year. Like after I've been just reeling off sacks all season, it was like, fuck, like on my mind all weeks, like this is my last opportunity. Like I have to finish the season strong. Like I got to get home. I got to play at my best. And like, that's literally all that was on my mind all week. Like you could ask me.
You were stressing.
And it wasn't even like stressing. It was like, I'm fucking anxious. Like I need to go out there and go do my fucking thing. Like I was ready to just play. And it was on my mind all week, bro. And it was incredible. Like that's, when my sack on Stidham, like when I sacked him, I fucking ran up. I did a fucking roll on the field and was just fucking screaming to the moon.
The somersault.
It just felt so, bro. It was such a great feeling. And like I went out there like with no thought on my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna come out here and I'm just hooping. Like I'm strictly like what I've been training all year to do this, and like it was just strictly instincts. I'm gonna just go play my game, whatever I'm feeling. I'm not thinking. I'm just going. And bro, I was all over his ass, like literally all around the field, flying around. I think I had 8 pressures, a couple TFLs on top of it. So it was just like, it was what I needed to go into the off season, and it was just a great feeling, bro. And to hit, personal records on every statistical category was huge too. Last offseason, everyone was like, oh, there's no way he can do better than he did the year before. And then I'd do it again. And then going into this year, it's like, no, I know I could be better. And, I had 90 tackles, 23 TFLs, 14.5 sacks, like putting up all career numbers. And I think I had 94 pressures, which is like 4th in the league. So like being up there at top of every single category, like that's what I push myself to be. It's not just all right, I'm just going to be a dominant ass pass rusher. Like, no, I'm going to be the best run defender, best pass rusher, best all around, best tackler as a DN. Like, I want to be the best in every single aspect, and that's what I work for, and that's why I work the way I do. And just to finish off that way and get a huge fucking win and seeing AP, like, that shit was like a movie, bro. And just seeing how the fans responded and how they've been responding to AP and the whole team. Like, we have a whole different attitude, and like, it's just, it feels right. It looks right. It sounds right. Like, it's just what the Raiders should be. And yeah, bro, it was a special day for sure, bro.
Yeah, no, you were a dog the whole year. I think I speak for everybody on who defensive player of the year in our eyes should be. I mean, you're topping yourself. Okay, that's a terrible phrase, but you're doing better and doing better and better each year, right? And the records that you're breaking are records that you set for yourself. So, I mean, obviously you're trending in the right direction, but Max, is it weird enough? I know your answer, I think, but at the end of the year, after all those stats you just rattled off, is there still left in the tank where you think I can still do better? I still can do a lot better than what I even did, which is crazy for some people to think, but is there some still left out there that you think that I can just capitalize on and keep continuing to grow?
No question. No question. I mean, there's every single game, like I break down all I do, like when it comes to film, like majority of the time, like all I'm doing is watching myself. Like I'll just watch my games over and over and over again, and I'll watch practice of myself over and over and over and over again. And there's always room for improvement, bro. And it's the littlest details, the shit that people don't recognize and people see on a daily basis. But it's literally comes down to the simplest shit. Reading your keys, your eyes, hands, feet, pad level, and get off, and not thinking. It's the mental part, the physical part, the repetition, doing it every single day. That's what it's all about. And for me, I know I'm not even close to where I'm going to be. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me even more excited and motivated at the same time. And it gets me excited going into the off season. And like today, there was a player All-Pro, which came out, which was freaking awesome. Me and Myles Garrett, I know DT was fired up about that. His two favorite rushers, being on the NFLPA one. But seeing the AP come out as well and being on that, so being a 2-time All-Pro, like all that shit's incredible, but it gives me more motivation because for me, I want to make it unfair. I want to be the undisputed best in the league, and that's why I work. And being second-team All-Pro is like, all right, like it's incredible. Being recognized as a top 4 rusher in the league, but like my goal is to be the best and be number 1. Until I make that completely unanimous, like. I have work to do, and then when I get there, I'm gonna find another reason to keep going. So, bro, all that in a nutshell. Like, yes, I have so much to work for. I'm fired up for this off season. Obviously, get my body back together. I've been playing through a lot of little bangs and bruises, and got a couple surgeries, but it just gets me more motivated for next year.
Yeah. So, Max, since we're on this topic, we'll do the dog of the day here, like right after, but. For Max, for you, what were like some of the off-season improvements that you saw heading into this season, and now the season's played out, that made an impact this year, if any at all, for you?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. My strength coach, the guy I work with majority of the time, Rick Slate. Big shout out to Rick Slate, dude's my spirit animal. He helps me with everything when it comes to getting ready. Me and him do all of our training together. We focus on every single little detail. And our thing is like 1%. It's finding that 1% in every category that we can get better at every single day. So if that's recovery, if that's training, if that's, sleep, whatever it is, like that's what we're focusing on. So for me, what helped me get better in this upcoming season, like our main thing that we want to focus on, and this is what AJ, our main strength coach, came to me with, was power. And we want to add that power element to my game. And I feel like that was a game changer. I've had power in the past, but I didn't use it as consistently. But this year, being able to use power on a consistent basis and my speed and all my moves, putting that all together, I feel like helped me get more sacks, get more pressures, and just be around the ball and be active. And also the mental part, like that's what I feel like took a huge step this year. Just being mentally still at all times. No matter what's going on, no matter if we're winning, losing, coaching changes, injuries, all that shit, like. I know I'm supposed to be here right now. I know this is supposed to happen for a reason. So don't get over emotional, overreact, no matter if it's great or terrible. Just stay in the moment and focus on what I can do to get better today. And that's what, I feel like helped me take that next step this year. So, it was a special year, bro, from start to finish. It was a movie.
Is it hard for you to kind of stay in the moment like that, Max? Because I feel like it is for me. A normal basis, it's like, how do I stay in the moment and just take care of business right now, because I know it's going to pay off tomorrow or X amount of time from now? Is that tough for you to do? Honestly, like it looks easy from outside in, but curious, is that a struggle sometimes for you, or how is that for you?
No doubt. I mean, it's not easy at all. I mean, it's what helped me change my whole career around. When I first, after my second season, when I got those surgeries the first time, and I changed everything from my meal prep to how I train, what I do, all that. Like when my careers changed, like that's what I bought in on was, okay, I'm going to trust my work. I'm going to trust the people around me and trust the people that, trust myself, but trust everyone around me that's involved with what I do and let the chips fall where they may, you know what I mean? And that's what's helped me get to where I'm at, because it's not easy. Every single day is a challenge, bro. My body is beaten. Like I woke up this morning, my fucking ankles, shoulders, everything hurts. Like, and it doesn't matter during the season. Like you got to go and you got to find a way, and you're not the only one, you know what I mean? But what separates myself is like, I always go above and beyond. I always try to find different ways to separate myself from everybody. And, for me, it's it's a blessing being able to do that. I used to look at it as a burden, like when I was younger in my career, because I was fucking partying and doing all extracurricular shit, and like sometimes when I was going to work, like I was fucking miserable. Like I haven't felt like that in forever, because now it's like I get to reflect and I know where I used to be, and like it makes me grateful. I get to wake up early as fuck in the morning and go get better and go get closer to where I want to be, and that's be a Hall of Famer and be the best in the league. And yeah, bro, it's been a blessing, bro. So every single day, like it's not easy, but it's something I look forward to every day, bro. It's just chasing that greatness consistently every single day.
Yeah, it's contagious, bro. It's inspiring to see. Just curious, because I know everyone else back home probably struggles with trying to stay in the moment and trying to do things better themselves. But hearing that it's just not an easy process, just something to stick to from someone like yourself, I think is huge. So, no, man, we're super happy for you, super proud. Your development has been silly. I mean, I don't even know. They'll have to write a book about it, because the where you started to where you're at right now, and I know you're nowhere near from being done, is crazy. And other people who have had some good development this season for you guys, Max, is obviously like Malcolm Kuntz, Jack Jones, Farva, who's a regular here on the show, Trey Tucker. What does that say about the culture, though, Max, and their development and how they ended the season?
Yeah, it's huge, bro. It's huge. For the future of this team, obviously, having young guys step up and super early in their career. And that's something, is being a leader. Like, that's something, specifically to my D-line group, just in general, like, that's another part, that I wanted to add, too, about what's helped me this season, is, like, taking that next step as a leader. And that's something, you see guys like Malcolm, you see Tyree, and all these guys, like, just improving on a daily basis. Just being able to play a little part in that is all I want, because I want everyone to try to get as close to my level of intensity and level of preparation and level of work on a daily basis. And like, if I could help someone get from here to here, that's a win. You know what I mean? And if you have a whole group thinking like that and chasing after, greatness, like you become unstoppable. And seeing like this group, like, obviously the Trey Tuckers, all those guys, like I got nothing but love and respect for those dudes. And I know where they're going. Like Trey Tucker's an absolute dog. I know he's going to be great. I know Aiden O'Connell, like the way he's, the way he prepares and works, I know he's going to have a great career. But more specifically on the D-line side, like we went from, I think, 25 sacks last year to 46. We almost doubled it. And like, it's hard to do. People were literally like shitting on us. Like this is, that we have, people heard it. Like we talked about in the D-line room, like people literally saying like, Max is the only guy that we got. And like that shit pissed me off as a player. It's like, nah, like we got fucking guys. And I know we do. And it almost pissed people off. Like, in our room, because you hear people talk about it all the time, and that's just real. Like, I mean, I can't even imagine being on the other side. Like, yeah, like, people not believing in you and thinking you could do it. And like seeing a guy like Malcolm have 8 sacks, seeing a dude like J-Rob come in off the street, get a sack his first game and helping us a lot, this season, and Adam Butler and John Jenkins. John Jenkins is 34 years old in his 11th year in his career, and he literally had career highs in every single category. And so, like, seeing shit like that is what it's all about. And, like, I can't, give enough credit to everybody in that room, but also Robbie Leonard, Matt Edwards, the guy that, the coaches that are in there with us. And, they're a major part of it as well. So, yeah, from a development standpoint, just looking at the future, it's like, what I mean? We're going to get to that, but, like, to mess that up, what I mean, and not build off what we already started is insane to me.
Yeah. No, let's start cooking into that. So obviously, Max, congratulations, bro. 2-time All-Pro, 3-time consecutive Pro Bowler. You'll catch us all down there. Congratulations, baby. Hey, you guys you'll catch the Rush family down there for the Pro Bowl. Obviously, got some things coming for the Super Bowl too, but we'll be down there showing our guy Max some love. DPOY, in our opinion, also host of the year on the Rush, just the up and coming show. So we appreciate you, Max. And let's go right into our dog of the day before we get to the State of the Union.
All right, y'all. Dog of the day. I mean, we had a lot of candidates. We had a lot of people we discussed. I mean, there's about 10 dudes that could have won this. Week 18, final game versus Denver. But we decided to go with the rookie. And this is very, uncanny for this group. You got to really earn that shit to be the dog of the day as a rookie. Yeah. So our boy, Trey Tucker, Cincinnati, rookie. Dude is a speedster. I call him Baby Tyreek. The dude's future is extremely bright. We did a little jersey swap this week. I was wearing a crop top number 11 jersey. It barely fit on my body. It looked like fucking what's his name? Brian Bosworth. Yeah, exactly. It looked like the Boz. But he was rocking my jersey and he was doing the fucking kick the door down celebration every time he caught the ball in practice. So I was expecting great things from him. I was hyping him up all week, and he went and delivered, bro. He had 5 catches, 79 yards. And he's been getting better and better, bro. And he's made a lot of big plays in the last couple of weeks for our team. And you see a guy like that who's, he's a smaller dude, but he plays big. And he's extremely fast. He's extremely quick, and he's fearless. And that's what you want in your teammate, and especially as a go-to weapon on your offense. So I know he wants to be one of those guys. He looks up to Tay. He follows Tay around like a puppy, literally in the facility. And I told him that's his day one. Like, stay around that motherfucker. Like, that's the standard. So pick his brain at all times, and you literally don't see him leave his side. So Trey Tucker, another Rushman guy. Shout out to CJ. So yeah, got a ton of love for Trey. He loves the game. He puts in the work. He's there early, leaves late, and that's exactly what you want in a teammate. So I expect huge things from him in the near future, and the sky's the limit for him. So dog of the day, Trey Tucker.
Okay.
First timer.
Okay. Double
First
Uno.
timer.
Double Uno.
Big shout out to Double Uno.
Yeah. He's fast, man. He is fucking fast, and he makes plays.
4-3. Blazing speed. Yeah, blazing speed.
Oh.
Yeah. It'll be fun to see him continue to develop and see what he's got, because he's got a shit ton in the tank, and his ceiling is high. And Darian's a huge fan, so that's hard to get him to be a big fan of someone. So we'll take it.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Right, D?
D, I just feel like I see it.
Yeah. D, do we want to do the big sack segment here?
I think we should. We should just squeeze in that big sack right now before we get into the meat and potatoes of the day.
Squeeze that big sack in there, please, bro.
Come on, give me that big sack segment.
Big sack.
All right.
Big sack. Big
Here we
sack.
go.
Big boom.
All right, so you guys are up 7-0. Okay, you let them get down to the 12. Right, they're about to go into scores. 1st and 10. Boy, Wap comes off the edge, does a nice little flash hands and full sweep. Tackle opened up instantly, and he chased him down for it was a 12-yard loss. Talk to us about the play, and then I know you kind of alluded to it a little bit about that celebration, but what the fuck made you do a somersault instead of kicking in a big old goal?
To start off, the play, for me, I played Cam Fleming twice last year. He was a starting right tackle. Mike McGlinchey, I played him week 1. I knew he was out, before the game. So I was like, I seen him before. I seen him walking down the sideline in a hat and Denver uniform. And I was just like, okay. So he left his guy, out there. Cam Fleming steps up and, we had to do what we had to do. I got a lot of respect for him. Cam Fleming, he's been in the league for a while. With all due respect, I expect to go dominate and, break down the play. It's 1st and 10. He gave away, pass. He has there's some indicators. Any team you play, every player kind of gives away run or pass in a different way. And I knew it was a pass. It's 1st and 10, and I took off, bro. And for me, double swipe, one of my favorite moves. I gave him kind of a hesitation to a swipe, and just took off. And I knew I had him beat off the snap. And I just seen Stidham turn and start running away from me, and I was already at full sprint. So I was trying to get the ball off him, first and foremost. Yeah. But I basically left my feet and hawked him down. And after I got that sack, I already broke down to you guys how it felt, needing that fucking sack. I've been thinking about it all week. So I was just so hyped, and I literally just ran. I was just
a kid on the playground, baby.
Literally, kid on the playground. And I'm like, I'm doing a fucking somersault. So I run and do a somersault. And I just start screaming to the moon, bro. So, yeah, bro, it's just an out-of-body experience. It was a huge play for us, obviously, in the red zone. And, yeah, bro, it was an incredible feeling. So, it's nothing like it, bro. Anytime, there's TFLs feel incredible, everything like that. But you get the quarterback down, it's just a special feeling.
It's like a touchdown for us on the other side of the ball.
100%.
Or a thick 6. You got to relate to the squad.
Yeah.
One
100%.
thing we should incorporate into next year is just give me like a big sack celly or something. After you kick in a door, just incorporate something with the sack.
Yes. Or you
Yeah, just start carrying your shit.
Dragging it.
Like South Park.
Dragging
Hell
it.
yeah. Well, no, I'm
Dragging.
glad we were able to get back to it. Like you said, it's been a couple
Yeah.
weeks, but it's well deserved. Nice. So
doubt.
nice job on the big sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Max, that was congratulations on the 14.5. And congratulations on the big sack. Darian, appreciate you squeezing that in there for us. But Max, another guy has a big old sack is AP, right? Obviously, he lays it out there. He trusts you guys. He listens to the players, and the culture has obviously been feeding off ever since that. But as you know, like there are now 4 coaching vacancies throughout the NFL. New faces have started to slowly creep in here last couple of days. But now that the Patriots have named Gerard Mayo as their head coach, what are your thoughts on how quickly Robert Kraft moved to make that decision? And then Bill had his press conference yesterday, and then they announced it. So think about how quick that happened in that process.
Yeah, it's been speculation, I feel like, from the beginning of the year. When the Patriots started off slow again. And then just everyone kept talking about it more and more and more and more as the season went on. You hear rumblings, that Belichick is going to be out of there. And it's honestly crazy, bro, because I've been watching, like he's been the coach for the Patriots since I was 2 years old. You know what I mean? So my whole life, Bill Belichick has been the coach of the Patriots. And just to see him, them move on from him is surreal. If he's not the greatest coach of all time, he's in the top 3. I mean, there's no argument. He's won the second most games of any coach of all time. He's 14 away from the record. And just what he's done for the game, you know what I mean? He's won 6 Super Bowls. I think that's the most of any coach. And he's a one of one. He changed the game. He changed the game in a lot of ways. He has a military background. He leads them in those teams, in a very militant way. I know a lot of people that have been there. Obviously, I had a similar experience with McDaniels, but it's no nonsense. And the fact that he can get a bunch of grown ass men to all go in one direction under that type of coaching style is incredible. And he should get all the credit and flowers. People like to compare the Brady to the Belichick and who was who was responsible. It was a Brady, it was a Belichick. They both deserve their flowers regardless. You know what I mean? They're 2 of the greatest to ever do it. And without, each other, those guys wouldn't have been able to win that many Super Bowls. So, yeah, it's crazy to see, bro. A legend, obviously, I don't even know. He might be coaching somewhere else. From the sound of it, he still wants to coach.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be
He's a
surprised if he
lifer.
ends up somewhere else. I know there's a lot of rumblings. Yeah, he'll be doing it. He's like how Joe Paterno did it. Like Joe Paterno, he'll do it till he's done. It's a sensitive topic, but he coached forever. But anyway, Bill Belichick, absolute legend. And yeah, we'll see where he ends up. He's definitely going to be still involved in football one way or the other.
Yeah. Were you surprised at how quickly that they did move on though from it? And is that just? Do you think it's because they had that decision kind of already made? Throughout the end of the season, Bill's going to be gone. There's reports weeks ago. Do you think that helped in that process for them?
Yeah, no doubt. I seen something today. I think Schefter reported it, but it's something you have to do before the season, like having a successor. So obviously, it was already kind of in the works. They already named Gerard Mayo. I think there's paperwork you got to fill out. Like, all right, if Bill ends up, we end up moving on from Bill. This is our guy. So clearly, it's already been in discussion. But when the season, went the way it went, then it kind of made it, a no-brainer in that way. And they want to, go in a different direction. So obviously, Gerard Mayo, he's another one. He's a lifer. I mean, he's literally played with the Patriots his whole career. Now, he goes into an assistant coaching role. And now he's going to be the main guy. So, they want to keep that Patriot, that's how the Patriots are. Like, that's like its own tight-knit community, and they want to keep it in-house. So it makes total sense that, they get a guy like Gerard Mayo. Honestly, I thought at first, like, when Vrabel got fired, which is still insane to me, I thought Vrabel would be the next guy.
Same.
If it wasn't Gerard Mayo. So either way, they're going to be in good hands, and, they have, he's going to be a great leader for them for sure.
Yeah. No, I thought the same as you, bro.
No, I mean, he's not going. No, I'm saying he's not going away. He ain't going anywhere.
He'll retire after he breaks that shit. No
Yeah.
question.
So he's got 2 years. Yeah, he's got 2 seasons left at least.
2 seasons at least.
Yeah, where he goes is probably depending on if he can have a little bit of say in like the management aspect part of it, front office, or if he just wants to coach. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to do all that anymore. I guess we'll find out. But Max, let's get back onto you because you talked about a lifer and you talked about Gerard Mayo playing for him and now becoming a coach. You guys have someone very similar in that role with AP. You've been very boisterous, if that's the right word to use, but out and about on who you believe the head coach should be. You even tweeted today that hire AP. So for you, Max, who do you want the next coach of the Las Vegas Raiders to be?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. Like you said, I've made it very public. I've made it very honest and clear. And, for me, it's Antonio Pierce without a doubt. I mean, we already had this opportunity a couple years ago with Rich. We had things going in the right direction. We went to the playoffs, almost won a playoff game. We ended up deciding, to go in a different direction and start from ground zero, and that didn't work. And now we're back in the same situation. We get an opportunity to have a guy who's, like you said, a lifer, from Compton, Raider fan his whole life, former player, Super Bowl winner, captain. When you have that guy in the building, and then he comes in and has a chance to prove himself, and he does, and I feel like he exceeded expectations. Yeah. We went 5-4, but realistically, I mean, we easily, not easily, but we should have won the Vikings game. I mean, we had a million opportunities. We didn't play perfect, but we very winnable game against the Vikings. Same with the Colts. We lose by 3 points. We didn't play our best, but we were still very much in that game on the road versus a really good team. Yeah. And then you got who's the other game that we lost close? Dolphins. Another one. Dolphins are a Super Bowl contender, and we took them down to the final whistle in Miami. Yeah. And on top of it, we set the record. We play the Chargers, score the most points in team history, 63 against a division rival. We go to KC and beat KC on their field. We're 4-2 in the division. I think 3-1 is AP, being the head coach. So, I mean, it would be absolutely ridiculous and insane if we didn't bring back AP and give him an opportunity. I mean, like I said, we've already had the opportunity to do this, and we went, we didn't stick with what we had, and we fucked it all up. And for this situation, I mean, I know how the guys feel. I know everybody wants AP back. I know the legends, the Charles Woodsons, all the guys like that, they all want him back. Yeah. And it's all the fans. I mean, everybody wants AP back. And I feel like he's done more than enough to prove that he's worthy of getting that opportunity. I don't know how the contract will work, if it's 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is, but he deserves an opportunity. And we've really started building something that's special. I mean, our defense went from literally one of the worst in the league to ending the season as a top 10 defense, which is crazy. Yeah. We've done a ton of great things in such a short time, and you can't blow something up like that because we already have pieces in place. We have a lot of talent, and all we're going to do is build on that. Yeah. And we can't start from ground zero again. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, it's my 5th year, bro. If we were to go with another coach, it would be my 5th head coach in 5 years. Like, I'm sick of the shit. I know everybody else is sick of the shit. Like, I've been here through it all, and I'm sick of losing, bro. All I want to do is win. That's all that matters to me. Yeah. I want great players around me, which we already have, and we're going to keep, bringing in. And, for me, like I said, I'm hell-bent on it. I'm going to keep sharing my opinion. Yep. And that doesn't bother me because I know AP is the right guy for the job. And people are going to have their certain opinions. They have certain people who they think is the best, who they think would be best for us. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're in the building every single day. We're the ones that go out there and go to war with them. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward for me. I can go on and on, but
for sure,
it's got to be AP.
The ultimate goal is obviously to win a Super Bowl. That's why you play, and you've said it how many times? Probably on every other episode of this show, and then every other fucking interview that you do. It means everything. That's ultimate goal, right? Do you think and do you believe is AP the right step? In the Raiders pursuing the Super Bowl aspirations, is he a huge piece in that part?
No question. Obviously, people have their questions when it comes to experience. But at the end of the day, I mean, you either get a coach who's been fired before or you try something new. I mean, that's the reality of it. So people all have their own opinions on shit, but in reality, AP, he doesn't have a bunch of experience as a head coach. But the reality is he's come in and he's helped change the culture. He's helped us win games, and he's helped our defense take off to a different level, and our team in general. So we're a few pieces away from being in contention. We all feel that. We know that. We feel like we should be playing right now this weekend. And that's what sucks the worst. But at the same time, we know we're going in the right direction. It almost feels like how Detroit felt last year. Like they missed the playoffs by a sliver. But everyone knew going to that offseason, they're like, yeah, Dan Campbell's got these guys going in the right direction, and they're going to be favorites to win the division next year. Like, we keep AP and we build on what we already started, I feel like that's going to be us. We're going to be right in contention. We're going to be in the playoffs next year without a doubt, if we just keep things going in the way it's going. But if we blow shit up again, then it's a bunch of question marks, and we start from ground zero again. And, then I got to start questioning what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's on a personal level because I want to win. You know what I mean? I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of being in limbo all the time. There's always change. There's always something, new. Yep. And for me, from a personal standpoint, I show up every single day. I'm in the building more than any coach or player on a yearly basis. I train all year round. I'm showing up every single day, doing my best, and doing everything in my power to help this team win. So I want everybody from the front office to the coaches to feel that same fucking way. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, we talked about this, but you 1000% have changed your life, obviously for yourself and for the better. But you've changed your life, literally changed your life for this organization. So it's only right that what you say holds value, holds weight, and should be a part of the decision-making process. So I got to ask you, Max, because you and Mark are very close. What has your involvement been in the coaching search, or even just through this coaching process, so to speak, since the season's ended?
It's pretty straightforward. Me and Mark have had a lot of conversations. We got to sit down together. I got to share a lot of my opinions, ask a lot of questions. I asked a lot of questions, but I made it very clear. There's no gray area in my approach to what I feel like is best, for the future of this team, and that's to keep AP. Everyone knows that. And Champ Kelly as well. A GM. I feel like he's definitely earned the right as well and deserves the opportunity to prove himself as well. So I feel like AP and Champ are they come in a package or a package deal, and they're on the same page. He lets Champ do his job, Champ lets AP do his job, and it's very straightforward in black and white. So that's kind of when it comes to Mark, like me and him have had a lot of conversations. He probably gets sick of me blowing up his phone and sick of me telling him, how I feel. But at this point, I really don't care. For me, I just want what's best for the team and the organization.
Absolutely.
Now, do you feel as though that your voice is heard in this decision-making process?
I hope so. I'm not just talking to talk. At the end of the day, I know I'm not an executive. I know my word is not final say. But I feel like I've definitely done more than enough to at least have my word considered and heard. And that's not just from Mark. It also includes all the legends. You know what I mean? The Charles Woodsons, the guys that did it before, the Howie Longs, the guys like that, who also feel similar if you talk to them. So I feel like everybody has a hand in the pot. But at the end of the day, I feel like I've definitely earned the right to at least share my opinion and share my opinion and let it be heard, because I've been in the building. Like I said, I'm in the building more than anybody. I put my body on the line for this team and this organization on a daily basis. I play more snaps than anybody in my position. I play through injury, and I still produce at all pro and Pro Bowl level. And I'm going to continue doing that and keep getting better. So I feel like my word carries weight. I'm not going to say it carries all the weight or I'm the fucking owner now, nothing like that. But I feel like I definitely should be heard, and I have a good perspective, because not only am I in the building every single day, I see how the coaches are, but I also, have great relationships with old heads, the OGs, the old school Raider legends. I have a great relationship with Mark and a lot of people, in the Raider organization. So I just want my voice to be heard. I'm just trying to win, and that's literally all that matters to me.
Yeah, no, and I don't know what happens behind closed doors or across the league, but you'll have better insight. But is this something that you think has just kind of come this season or over the last year, where they're looking to you for your feedback? And follow-up to that is, should players of your caliber across the league have a voice and a say as to who the next coach should be, whether it's a head coach, a coordinator, whether it's a position coach, right? Should players have more of a say in these decisions, because you guys are going to be the ones working with these new hires?
No doubt. I feel like it definitely should be a collaboration of some sort. For me, I haven't bounced around the league. I haven't, said, oh, I want to go to this team, or I want to be a Raider. I've said that since day one. When I got drafted to the Raiders, I got the fucking shield tatted on me. I'm a Raider, through and through. So, I feel like we should have a say in it. At least, the players that have put in the due time and put in the work. Not only just production on the field, but also on a daily basis, or in the community, or behind the scenes. Like, I check all those boxes because I care, and I want this team to be great in all aspects. And I've been with the Raiders for 5 years. We've made the playoffs one time. Pro Bowls are great, all pro, all that's fucking great, accolades, awesome. I want to win. You know what I mean? I've done those things. I'm going to continue doing those things. But most importantly, I want to win. I want to have a Super Bowl. I want to fucking bring Las Vegas the greatest experience in the world, and that's bringing a championship here to this city. Like, I think about that all the time, bro. Like, we have a Super Bowl here in Las Vegas. Imagine us being in that game. You know what I mean? That's what I think about. Like, I want to bring a damn parade to Vegas, and I want the fucking whole city smoking cigars and having a blast and doing it the right way. Like, that's why I play the game. And that's the one thing I don't have. I know I've not been in the league for a long, long time, but I've only made the playoffs one time. I have one playoff game under my belt, and that shit is, unacceptable. And it pushes me every single day to continue. That's why I work the way I work. That's why I operate the way I operate, because I want to win. And I want everyone thinking that way. What can we do? What can we sacrifice? How could we get to that point? And it's got to be from everyone. It can't just be me. It can't just be AP. It's got to be everybody involved.
Yeah, and from a friend's perspective, right? Someone that's known you, we talk to you often. We see from the behind the scenes, right? You just told everybody you got 2 surgeries lined up, right? You had the Chiefs game. You literally played a game where they could have, if it went left, it could have been fatal, genuinely. And that's not just even hyping shit up. Like, that is the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
So you are literally giving this franchise everything that you have. Okay, I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, right? Rich came in, and he came in as the interim coach, and you were so adamant and so vocal about you want him to be the next coach, right? They obviously went with McDaniels, but there's a chance that this happens again, right? There's a chance that you are out there saying, I want AP. Jacobs goes out with the tweet saying 90% of his decision to be a Raider next year determines if AP is the coach, right? If it happens again, what does that mean for your future as a Raider if they do not go with AP?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I'm gonna have to consider everything. Honestly, nothing's off the table. Clearly, I made it loud and clear that I want to be a Raider for life. I want to be here. I want to win here. I want to retire here. But I mean, if you go and start from scratch again, I got to consider everything. I mean, from everything. So that's something that I've talked to with all my people and all my team, and obviously you guys included a little bit. But at some point, you got to do what's right, for the fans, for the team, for the future. You gotta put everything into consideration. So for me, obviously I'm the least, selfish person when it comes to that. Like, I'll go to the farthest, I'll let it get to the last extent before I pull out of something. Like, I don't quit anything I do. So, I want to be a Raider for sure. But if, we go in a different direction, then, there's nothing that's off the table.
Yeah. I mean, you're 26 once, right? You're not getting any younger, and you're hitting your pinnacle, and your ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. So, I was just very curious, and I know that all the fans are too. What's that mean for Maxx Crosby?
Yeah. And not only that, you talk about all the things that he's done to sacrifice, and that he's made at the front a front priority for this organization. So the only thing that I can say, at least hearing from you, Max, is that you just want to be heard, and you want to know that what you're doing out there holds value, and that you ultimately have a seat at the table when it comes to what makes this team better, because who has a better pulse on this team than a guy who's been here from the start? So, Max, I got to ask you, so you've had five seasons in the NFL, 4 coaches, potentially 5. How does that turnover at the head coaching position impact the trajectory of a franchise like the Las Vegas Raiders?
Well, I mean, if you have new coaches all the time, it's typically a bad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It means that every time there's a new coach, that means a new head coach, that means new assistants, new players, new philosophy, square one. You know what I mean? And that's another 3-year process. You know what I mean? And, it's not necessarily like it happens one time. It's like, okay. But it continuously happens. Then it's like, what the fuck? And that's just what I've experienced. And, I wouldn't change anything, in my career that's led up to this point. I feel like everything's happened for a reason. I appreciate all the relationships I've had, all the new coaches, players that have come in. But realistically, at the end of the day, to win and sustain winning, you got to have consistency. You got to have a baseline of, all right, this is what we do. This is how we do it. These are our guys. This is our coaches. This is what we do. This is the Raider way. It's not the fucking anybody else way or whatever you want to call it. It's the Raider way. There's a lot of great coaching candidates out there. They're taking nothing against them, but they aren't there for the Raiders. You know what I mean? They can be a good coach for somebody else. AP is meant to be a Raider. He's meant to be the Raiders coach. And I firmly believe that, and I'll stand by that. And he's proven that. And the fact that we have an opportunity to bring him back and show the world with a full season what that looks like it would be fucking insane if we didn't go and chase that, because we know where we're going. Everyone believes the culture is the number one thing. The environment, that's the first thing he addressed when we came in there. We're not coming in here with fucking a sad ass face or attitude or nothing. We're gonna put smiles on our face. We're gonna smoke our shit. We're gonna do what we do. We're gonna have fun, dance, but we're gonna get the work in at the same time. And that's what AP preaches. That's what everyone bought in on, and everyone is fully in on that. And that's what being a Raider is being fully yourself. Don't be a shell of yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Max, you told me, Max, fucking be you. He asked me in the team meeting, we got the cigars for tomorrow? I'm like, fucking right, we do. He asked Jack, you're going to be out there picking shit off, talking your shit? Jack's like, yes, fuck yes. So that's what it is to be a Raider. That's why I love this franchise. That's why I was bought in on from the day I got here. So when you got a guy like that who was a fucking homegrown Raider with an opportunity to let him build and grow as a coach, even though he doesn't have the experience, it doesn't matter. He's gotten a chance to be the head coach, and he showed what he can do, and he did it with literally no preparation or nothing. Yeah. Give him a whole offseason, let him bring in more pieces, let us build this thing, and let's see what we can do with it. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Yeah. But I believe in him, and I know the shit is going in the right direction, and I feel like everybody else does as well. So we got to do this right and bring AP back and bring Champ back. No question about it.
Now, to follow up to Brogan's question earlier, he talked about how quickly the Patriots moved, right? And the answer was, they kind of knew for a little bit. Well, AP's been the coach for over 2 months, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, like, what am I missing something as to seeing why AP, like, this decision hasn't been made and, like, vocalized and made public yet? And if so, then is there something that you can kind of fill the gap for me on?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, because I've definitely seen people talking about it today. But if you were, the reason why the Patriots were able to move so fast is because prior to the season, they had to fill out all the paperwork for the Gerard Mayo thing. Like, this is our predecessor. Like, if we move on from Bill, like, this is our guy. So that's got to be done before the season. So the AP thing, that wasn't planned or anything like that. Like, Mark, ended up firing Josh halfway through the season. And that wasn't planned out or anything like that. No one goes into the season expecting to fire the guy halfway through. So you got to go through the due diligence. There's obviously the Rooney rule as well. So that's just part of league protocol. So I'm not sure what the date is when you officially can hire your new head coach. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got to go through the process regardless.
Yeah, I think it's like
the Patriots were Patriots were a one-off because they already put in the paperwork.
Yeah,
cool. Excuse me. Put in the paperwork for Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, I think it's like a certain amount of interviews, right? So what you're saying is Mark should just take some bullshit interview let a guy come in and practice for next year, for another team. Is that what you're saying? And then just hire AP so we can get along with it.
That goes completely against the Rudy rule.
Well, that's what they should do. Yeah. Matt, so obviously very vocal with AP. But did playing for AP have anything to do with you not shutting down, this last season based off injuries, and then people start not knowing if you're going to make the playoffs? But for proving that AP is your guy, did any of that kind of make you reluctant on shutting down for the season, even though we know you probably wouldn't anyways?
Yeah, I wouldn't have shut down unless I literally couldn't walk or breathe. You know what I mean? So, yeah, honestly, during that whole time, like AP was with me on the sideline. This is earlier in the year when Josh was still the head coach, and he was right next to me when we played New England, the game where I got the sack at the end, me and Bilal, and ended the game.
Yeah,
my knee blew up bad in the first half. Like I literally slammed it in the ground. It was blown the fuck up. And I looked at, like, he felt my energy when I was about to go on the field. He's like, "You good?" I'm like, "Look at my fucking knee." I literally pulled my knee pad up. My knee looked like a balloon. And he's like, "Jesus." He's like, "I fucking knew it." And then I went in the locker room, got 120 cc's ripped out of it, and I ended up closing the game. You know what I mean? People don't even know about that shit. But AP was like in my ear the whole time. He's like, "Just go. Just keep going, keep going, keep going." And then fast forward when, he obviously took over and Champ took over. We're about to play KC, and we're on the field doing the pre-workout, the pre-game workout. I'm going through my shit, and my knee was definitely not right, but I knew it was good enough. And I told them, I said, "Listen, like Champ didn't want me to play. Champ was like, 'Listen, I don't think you can protect yourself, whatever.' I'm like, 'Champ, with all due respect, like I'm playing, so I'm fine. I know it's not perfect, but this is how I felt in the New England game earlier in the season, and I played and I finished that fucking game. I said you could pull up the film and watch that game and whatever. Like I wasn't 100%, but I found a way, and that's literally what they did. He was like, "Okay, we'll listen to it. We'll talk and we'll get back to you." So I'm like, I don't know if I'm playing. This is like an hour before the game. I'm getting stretched out and everything. And then Champ comes up, calls me, and him and AP were in the office, and they had the film pulled up of the Patriot game, and they were watching it, and they were like, "Okay, we're comfortable with you playing. You just got to communicate. Like if something's fucked up, like if you're fucked up, if you feel like you can't help us, then we don't want you out there. But if you can, like we trust you. We know who you are." He's like, and AP's like, I know as a player, like how that feels. How am I going to let a coach tell me I can't play when I know I'm able to play somewhat? Yeah. So that's part of the game, and they had that trust in me. I had the trust in them, and I went out there and still found a way to somehow get to Mahomes, even though I was fucking peg leg. But they put the trust in me, and it was my decision ultimately because I basically just told them, like, "Listen, I'm playing." And they monitored me, and at one point in the game they pulled me out, and I was pissed. But I trust them 100%, and like they're very vocal and straightforward with everything. You know what I mean? There's no gray area like I've talked about before. But my trust with them is out the roof.
My last thing for this last question: if we're just recapping everything that we just talked about in this great segment, if we were submitting Maxx Crosby's ballot, that is to retain AP as the head coach, and that's to keep Champ going into the next season. Is that correct?
1,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000,000%, yes.
Cool. There's no gray area. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah, I love Champ. No, give AP, give Champ, give them the opportunity to get their guys, right, Max? I mean, give them the opportunity to bring in their guys, see what they can actually do. Culture is the hardest part, so it seems like they got that part taken care of. Max, more than anything, before we move on to around the league with our buddy here, Creel, we appreciate you just being open, vulnerable, talking through the situation with all of Raider Nation, Condor Cartel, and then obviously us as well. So it's hoping for great things here in the offseason for you guys, even greater things here on the Rush, which we're going to get to as well. So Creel, going to kick it to you, brother. A little around the league. I love that hoodie.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's get it. So out of 32 down to 14, Super Wildcard Weekend, 2 buys, AFC side, Baltimore, NFC side, San Francisco. Now, first question with that, Max. being Baltimore and San Francisco, obviously some rest is well needed, well warranted. But now resting your starters week 18, getting a bye week the very first week, and now not playing football, a real game in 3.5, say, weeks. Now, would you signal that more as a harm or more as like a pro? Is that, better off, or is it kind of suck to not get contact for 21 days? That's what it takes to break a habit.
Yeah, honestly, that's a really good point. Obviously, I've never been in a situation where I'm number one seed and get that type of rest. But the team I know is still practicing.
No doubt,
obviously.
yeah.
So they're practicing. Obviously, they probably had a couple padded practices as well, which they haven't in a long time. So I know they're preparing. And every team that has been in that situation, like the Niners, like they've been a number one seed before, so they've been through this. They probably have a great protocol as far as what they do, as far as build up and things like that. And, being a vet, like, I feel like it's a little bit different. Like, when you're a young guy, like, you want to just play,
yeah.
And you're anxious. But, like, once you get to that level, like, all their guys are vets.
No doubt. They're studs.
Even Debo, like, Debo's young. Debo came in with me. He's still, considered a vet. Debo wants that rest. Trent Williams, all those guys, Christian McCaffrey, like, you need fresh legs when it comes to this time of the year. So that's why everyone's fighting for that number one spot. So, the coaches, they've been in those situations. I'm pretty sure the Ravens have been a number one seed as well. So they have a great plan for the guys, leading up to that. So, honestly, I think it's a good thing because, especially at this time of the year, like, bro, your body is,
torn.
Fucked up. Yeah, your body's fucked up. There's no sugarcoating it at all. So, yeah, I feel like it's a good thing, and it's definitely an advantage, especially getting that, getting home games your whole playoff.
Sure.
So,
Word. Yeah. And then first up on the slate Saturday, 4:30, kick. Cleveland visits Houston. DT, what do we got going down there, baby?
Speaking of slate.
The French Vanilla.
Talk to him, D.
Come on. I mean, you see that jersey hanging. That's why Brogan's got it back there.
Which one?
You see that thing. Look at that jersey back there.
Where's that 3 at?
Come on.
Okay,
see? You better be wearing that tomorrow.
These bitches hung up, though. That's why I was looking if they could fit, give you guys some love. Hey, you don't know about this one, D? I ain't gonna show
Hey, yes. But I think we got to go around the horn as a crew and say who's winning these games.
Prediction.
This is the prediction segment.
Prediction hour.
We fucking needed.
I mean, come on.
And then we're gonna keep track on who's gonna be right through the playoffs, and we'll think of a punishment that we'll vlog out for everybody in Condor Cartel D.
Yes.
Punishment or
reward. All this.
There we go.
Bring the whiteboard out, D.
Yeah, everybody saw yours in the background of the original days. We'll just erase the goals.
The goals are staying. Yeah.
All right. So what do we got here, Krill? It's 4:30 in Houston.
Yep. So again, Cleveland visiting Houston. I truly believe that. This is kind of biased. I'm a Pittsburgh fan, but with that being said, the rookie sensation keeps on rolling. And the offense shows up, and Cleveland defense, they show up as well. But for the first time in a long time, the turnovers from Joe Flacco matter in the playoffs, and it's going to result in points the opposite way. And I think that's the deciding factor. The story's over. Cleveland gets heart unbroken, and here we go.
So what's your pick?
I wish I had these when I was making decisions.
Did we just lose them? But anyways, we'll go with our pick, and then I'll let Creel with all that information he just provided. I'm still not going to let it fucking bother me, right? We're going to have our dog in the debut those Brownies. I mean, we've been here before. We've heard it all. The Brownies are going into Houston and fucking, you know what I'm talking about.
So
getting that first playoff win. No, I'm predicting there's going to be a physical football game, and that defense is going to show why they're number one in the league. That's what I'm going to say. And Stroud's good and all. He's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. He's a fucking dog. He is what he is. I mean, you never know with these fuck-ass fucking people who give awards. They'll throw a curveball. But, yeah, anyways. Stroud is most likely going to be winning the award for Rookie of the Year. But, again, he's a rookie. That's a good defense. They got a lot of playmakers all over the field, and they're going to be able to hopefully show him some things that have him thinking, that have him slowing down just for a second. Yeah. So I'm going Cleveland Brownies with the win on the road.
Obviously did not see that coming, Darren. So really good decision. I'm going to actually piggyback, and I'm going to also join you because obviously we're both from the great state of Cleveland. Spent some time there. You are a Johnny Manziel fan.
The great state of Cleveland?
Great state of Cleveland!
I didn't know they made a new state. New State? That's fucking sick.
Hey, you know what's cool though? They should give me mad love for considering them an entire state. But we are from that beautiful state of Ohio, and I think it's going to be 28. I don't know how they get to 28, but they're going to get to 28 one way or another, and it's going to be 28-13. Brownies.
Okay, I like that.
Damn.
I think CJ's so different, but turnovers. Slay.
All right, Wop, who you got?
Yes. Okay. Final. This is my prediction right here. Both teams obviously got great defenses. I mean, Cleveland, I think, is number 2 ranked defense in the league, if I'm not wrong. Houston, D'Amico Ryans, great front, very underrated front. Great linebackers, my brother, Denzel Perryman, obviously. They have young ballers. CJ Stroud, I mean, he was in the MVP conversation before he got the old concussion there.
Facts.
I mean, this is a tough game. Joe Flacco obviously has experience, but he also has been sitting on the couch, but he's played well in time. So, I mean, he's been great. So it's honestly very hard. It's kind of a toss-up. But if I had to predict my winner, I'm going 28-24 Houston Texans.
Oh, H-Town.
I need a prediction. I need score predictions.
I did too. I said 31-13 Brownies.
I thought you said 28-13.
Or 28-13. I did.
Mine's 28-17 Brownies.
Okay.
Wow.
A lot of 28s.
24-17. 24-17 Houston.
I like that.
I agree though. CJ Stroud is so cold.
I mean, he's ice cold. I like that. I like that matchup though. I think either way, it's gonna be a good ass game.
Who we got next, Creel? I love you.
Creel is gonna fucking lose it. But it's just going to be just like the Eagles, right? They can't suck back weeks where they have. I think that they're going to come in. It's going to be at home. It's going to be cold as fuck. This is a classic Kansas City playoff game. And I think Mahomes and Kelsey, they figure it out. Pacheco is going to hit the ground. So I think that they're going to win by at least, 2 scores. I'm
going to ditto on that with you, D.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 2 scores. Oh, you're good. You're good. I'm going to say, we'll say 35-21.
Holy shit! You guys are giving a lot of points here. I'm going to say
in a cold game. I'm sorry, but I feel it.
Yeah, very cold game. It's -30 wind chill. I'm going to ditto on top. I think the Chiefs obviously aren't where they want to be. Not a lot of people are going to be happy about this, but I think they're just playing a little of that possum. People think they're not as good as they are, but they got a few weeks to figure it out. Kelsey rested his body a little bit. But this is really, it's like LeBron. They don't really give a fuck about the regular season. They need to make sure they get there. That's a different story with LeBron and them. But they don't really care about regular season as long as they're in there. And then they're going to try and make their hay. I think they're going to be too much. Tua, I like his game here and there. But if they're depending on him, and he's got to make a play, Max, we talked a little bit last week, but it just gets a little tough and blurry for him. So I'm going to say, since you guys are psychopaths and think they're going to put 1,000,000 points up, I'm going to say 20-3 Chiefs.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
I like that.
Kicks.
A lot of kicks. I like that though. That's
realistic. It's cold.
That's realistic.
Mm-hmm. But they just let the Ravens walk in and dog walk them at home. So I kind of hope that they get fucking ran up on.
Yeah, no question. I mean,
who do you think, Max?
As much as it hurts me to agree with all of you with the Chiefs winning, I'm gonna have to be the fourth guy to agree. I mean, the Chiefs, like you said, like Brogan, I definitely, I don't fully agree with what you said as far as like the regular season. I mean,
they care.
Fucking Mahomes wanted to punch Josh Allen in the head like after they lost the first, and he wanted to kill the refs and everybody. So, to an extent, they definitely have had their struggles. But I will say this. Once it comes to the biggest moments, biggest times, biggest play, biggest games, I trust Patrick Mahomes. And it's, unfortunately, I play him every year twice. But, I mean, he's going to be at his best. And everyone knows that. So, it is going to be a cold-ass game. I do respect the Dolphins. I mean, their defense is very underrated. I mean, they have stars.
A lot of injuries.
Defense. But they are a little banged up. I will say that. Their edge, obviously the edge position, a little banged up. But I feel like it's going to be a closer game than you guys are predicting, but I do have the Chiefs winning. I feel like the Chiefs are going to win in an ugly 16-9 victory over the Miami Dolphins. 16-9 at home, frozen tundra. A lot of field goals. I don't think the Dolphins are even going to get in the end zone. I feel like it's going to be 3 field goals.
Tyreek?
Yeah, I feel like the Chiefs are going to find a way. I mean, it's going to be tough for Tyreek. It's literally frozen. They're going to have to get the ball in his hands as much as they possibly can.
Yes.
And I know the Chiefs are going to be dialed in on him. So, and they know him very well. So, it's going to be interesting, bro. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good ass game.
Wow. Someone's going to take a picture of all 4 of us saying the Chiefs.
Yep.
Fuck them.
Is what it is. Fuck them.
Then to kick off Sunday, 1:00 Sunday, Pittsburgh going up to Buffalo. Also
blowout.
Terrible weather, crazy wind. Weather's playing a huge factor in this one. Buffalo's coming off of, I believe, winning 5 or 6 straight. That's super hard to do. With that being said, my bias in me is going to come out for the last time of all of these picks. I think with the weather, super windy, the Steelers run the hell out of the ball. Josh Allen, super turnover prone. Points aren't going to come at a lot. You're not going to get an abundance of points in this game. You can't really kick with the wind being 50 miles an hour. So I see this going down as 1 field goal from the one team, and the rest will be 10-7 Pittsburgh. Shitty game, awful game to watch. Shitty. It should be played between like the 40s. It'll just be a game of field position and see who can capitalize on 1 or 2 or 3 plays. And I'm going with Pittsburgh.
I like that. I mean, that's real football, though. I mean, just grimy, cold. I mean, that's just old school football. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Josh Allen might have 20 carries.
Oh, at least. When he gets in do or die moments, playoff football, he's going to just fucking
snowplow.
He might just be chilling back there for that game too, because you got no Watt in that game, right? It's going to be cold weather. I think that Von Miller comes out, and he didn't forget what he said to Myles Garrett. He knows what Mason said. So we're gonna come out here and he's gonna make a statement. And I think that the Bills go ahead and do their thing. Bills Mafia will be rowdy. They're gonna be fucking really just foaming at the mouths. Yeah. So the fight will be won in the parking lot and then in the stadium as well. So I'm gonna go with the Bills 21-10. A nice Tundra game as well.
D, so you're saying he's finishing another man's job is what he's going to do?
Well, Miles did okay, but he got stomped out by Pouncey, so there's not much you can do with that.
No. Oh,
you don't forget.
No, you don't. And you shouldn't, Darian. Never should. Anyways, but you can forgive. And that's the most important thing. I'm going to go with Bills. Only reason is I think that they're dangerously one of the better teams when it comes to playoffs for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just something in my head. Steelers, I actually do like them in this matchup with the weather. I think they're going to be able to run the ball really well. Defense is going to be buzzing around. Is Minka out, Krill?
No.
He's in.
KZ, who was suspended for the year, is back because they made the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know what? Just for the hell of it.
So they have 2 safeties that haven't been playing for a couple of weeks.
So this is what I'll say. This only because I want it to happen. I'm going to go with Creel, and I'm going to say Steelers with the upset because I want a Brown Steelers in the playoffs, low key, just so I can see you two battle royale. And but I just think they can run the ball. They have a good opportunity, and if it's at a neutral location, based off what the fuck is going on right now with the weather, it might be in Cleveland, very close to home from Pittsburgh. Another travel disaster for Baltimore or for the Bills. I got Steelers. I'm going to say Mason Rudolph, your twin, Darian, 23-20. Steelers.
Wow.
Yeah, Darian.
I was not expecting that. I thought
either. It just changed. I did. I hit a Yui.
You definitely hit a Yui because I was not expecting that whatsoever.
Pressure's on you.
I mean, so is that? Hold up, before I answer this, is that a real situation? In Buffalo is getting so bad that they might have to move the game.
Yes. It was talked about whether
not confirmed.
Okay. Not confirmed, but okay.
Yeah, we don't know.
Darian's got a pulse on the city. He'll know.
Yeah, let him get a little drip.
Yeah,
I'm a detail guy, so I was, I'm just trying to figure out all the ins and outs. But I mean, this is a tough situation. I mean, the Steelers don't have T.J. Watt. I feel like that's the biggest key.
Yeah.
If there's somebody that could go in there and put a wrench in the Bills' offense, it would be T.J. But I mean, this is my thing. I think it's going to be close early. I think at halftime it's going to be like 6-3 or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in the end, I feel like with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, I mean, they have a lot of weapons. Even Cook, the running back, is super underrated.
He's been playing well.
He's really good. I feel like Buffalo pulls away in the second half. It's going to be 24-6.
Woo! There we go, Wop. I knew it wasn't just me.
24-6. I think the Bills win. I just feel like Mason Rudolph in that offense. I feel like they're going to run the ball well in the beginning, but over time, like Rudolph's going to have to make some plays, and it's going to be real tough.
Yeah,
I hear that.
I can't wait till you get to this next one.
So then, kicking off next midday slate, getting dinner ready. D will have something smoked up on the smoker. Green Bay visiting Dallas.
Yeah, poll.
Jesus.
Okay.
So with that being said, Jordan Love's playing really, really well. Was also discussed towards tiers there of an MVP type, spurt. Not that by any means he was in the stretch for the longevity of the season, but he had spurts week in and week out where he was really kicking ass. But Dallas, you have to assume the home team, they haven't lost in like 2.5 years at home. I don't think they have much trouble here either. I say Dallas puts up 33-21.
I like the pick.
Real.
Not a bad prediction.
But
I love it. And that's why I hate it.
Yeah.
I love it, but that's why I hate it.
Same.
Grab it. I'm going to open up the closet. I'm going to pull out the suit. Man in the suit pick. That's going to tell me that everybody is just going to hit. They're going to think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game, and they should. Right? They should. They on paper, they're at home. Everything says they win, but I think that they lose. And I think that it incites absolute, utter fucking chaos in the great state of Texas.
Yes. All the Belichick
Jerry's
Thank you.
Yeah. Everything starts to, and nothing's off the table. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that this is going to getting a score for that, I don't know. So I'm just going to pull one out like a 28-24. The Packers win. But I think that the Packers get this. Man in the suit said so.
Wow. I hope someone scores at least 28 points. The amount of times we've guessed that number. Darian, I want to jump on that train so badly with you because part of what you're talking about, Belichick come in there, going to cause a lot of chaos. Big story. Jerry loves a big story. There's no such thing as bad PR down there with Jerry. So I do think the Packers are playing well. I just don't trust them enough. I think Micah and them are going to be foaming at the mouth, which is going to be big. But a lot of young talent for the Packers. The receiving core, they're actually better than I think they even anticipated them to be at this stage. Fuck me. I think I took such a hot pick on the last one that I'm going to have to stay conservative here. But I could definitely see an upset with the Packers. But I'm going to say Cowboys moving on to the next round. They're going to score 35 points, and it's only going to be 21 points for the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
That's right. I like that pick too, Brogan. I like it.
Wow.
Thank you,
You're
brother.
not wrong.
Wow.
Pressure's on you,
right,
brother.
well, I mean, this is my deal. I mean, like you guys said, everyone on the planet thinks it's a slam dunk. Cowboys double-digit win. They're very good at home. They're well coached. They're obviously probably the more talented team in general. But there's just something in me that I don't know. It's there's a little, I don't know, a bird of some sort. I don't know, like a cardinal.
Yeah.
Red
A
cardinal
condor?
speaking to me from a distance. Condor. Exactly. He's trying to speak to me.
Yeah.
I keep hearing whispers, and I've had some weird conversations. I've talked to a few guys on the team. Obviously, I know the Packers. I know Keyshawn. I know Rich. Kyle Wilbur's assistant coach there. Like, I know a lot of guys over there, and they've been very silent. They've taken a lot of. They've heard everything. Packers have no chance. Matt LaFleur is a great coach.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's playing great football. They have a good defense. They're better on special teams. I just feel like it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a controversial, weird fucking game. There's going to be a weird call at the end. Cowboy Nation is going to go ape shit, and they're going to lose 35-32 game-winning field goal in Dallas. Rich Bisaccia is going back there. Last time they played, Aaron Rodgers had the sideline of Mercedes Lewis, and they beat the Cowboys. Rich wants to go back there as a Packer and take down his former team. I just have a weird feeling Jordan Love's going to have like a this is his statement game.
Yeah,
like he's been playing really well. People are, we're kind of on the fence in the beginning. He's playing really well. I feel like he's going to have a career game, and they're going to go down there and shock the world, and they're going to win 35-32 in Dallas.
Wow.
Nice.
I love Jordan Love's mechanics.
I said it.
Love.
And then next on the slate, I don't know, unlike biasly, this is the game I'm most excited for, with not even like any questions about it. The Rams and Stafford coming back to Detroit. You think of Stafford his whole fucking career, right? Dying out on the field. And all he wanted to do, Max, the same thing, was bring that fucking city success and a playoff win and a Super Bowl. And the first fucking year he's out, what does he do? Go to La La Land and win a Super Bowl. And then now he's coming back. What Detroit's been yearning for our whole entire life, right? Like 1993, I believe, was the last playoff appearance. Am I correct?
Stafford went one time, I believe, when he was here.
He did 1 year with Calvin. Okay,
that was when the catch against the Cowboys or whatever, when Calvin caught the ball, or right? Or am I wrong? Or didn't
they went twice. They went twice. They lost to the Saints in the Saints when they had Drew Brees, and then they lost to the Cowboys on that bullshit controversial pass.
They might not have won a playoff game since 1993, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they haven't won. Yeah, since '93.
Gotcha. So with that, being said, there's a movie in itself with that. I think it's an offensive game. I don't think either team's really good defensively, but they're both started on offense. I think it's going to be 31-28. Detroit wins at the very last minute.
Wow.
City erupts.
I like that. I like that, Krill.
Creel, I could just say, I want to just throw in a different score, but I love that. I think this is going to be an on your seats, high tempo, fucking just back and forth kind of game. There's not going to be any weather restrictions. There's going to be, the place is going to be jumping. With that shit on. Hey, so I think I'm going to ride that with you. I'm going to go 31-28 with you, Creel. I think the Lions win this. Let's
love
run
that.
it.
Yep. Love that, D.
Wait, what was the score, Dan? What was the score?
31-28.
Oh, same.
That's what I said. I'm gonna trail that right there.
We love it.
That's huge.
All
Good
right.
pick, D. I'm obviously here in the city, Detroit. Everyone is losing their mind. Most expensive playoff tickets, I'm pretty sure, in all of the playoffs right now. The cheapest one you can get is like $600, right? So, and that's like nosebleed. So if you want to be down there a little bit to the action, you're talking thousands. So Detroit's yearning. They're ready for it. Max, you were a fan. You were such a fan that you went and got drafted in the NFL and played for a whole other team and forgot all about them. That's how long of a stretch it's been that they've been successful. Matt Stafford, I love him. He's tough as nails. So it hurts me to say I could very well see the Rams going in here and being special because they've been playing very well at the end of the season. And Matt McVay, this is probably his best season he's coached, in my opinion. Yes.
Yeah.
Sean. So I'm going to take Lions at home. I think they beat them 38-27, and I just think they feel comfortable going into next week. And I don't know who they play. Do they play winners of Packers Cowboys? We don't know that.
We don't know that yet.
I would love to see a Cowboys Lions again though because of what went down at the regular season.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, I've been thinking about this game a lot. This is probably the game I'm most excited for, even though I'm excited for all of them, and I wish we were in the fucking playoffs, but that's a whole nother conversation. But anyways, I mean, this game is going to be insane. Like you said, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, that little drama, Jared Goff and McVay wanted the better quarterback, whatever. Yeah. I mean, you got to look at it from a few different perspectives. Detroit obviously has the better record. They're at home. It's going to be a hostile environment. But on the other side, you got Matthew Stafford coming back to Detroit. My favorite quarterback growing up as a kid. Gunslinger, one of the best, arguably most talented quarterback in the league in the last 10, 15 years. Me and Brogan actually agreed on this, which is not a normal thing. And for me, I just have this weird feeling It's going to be a fucking barn burner down to the end. But for me, you look at it, you have Aaron Donald on defense, and you got Matthew Stafford. I believe they have the best offensive player and the better quarterback, and I believe they have the best three-tech to arguably ever play the game. So I'm banking on those two guys. They're playing really good football. I believe it's going to be 28-24. No, not 28. I'm going to say 24-21. The Rams win in a close one. Field goal at the end. Silence Detroit's crowd, and Stafford runs off going nuts.
Kissing. My God!
He said, "Ban my jersey now, bitches." That's what he's going to be talking.
Wow.
Hey, do you think
then
really
Monday?
They got a second-year guy wearing a number 9 right now. That's disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. You hear what Melo said about your boy Jokic and wearing his number? Different topic. But Krill, low key, do you think that if he wins, they retire Stafford's Ram jersey inside Lion Stadium?
Oh my God. Man. And then Monday, we get spoiled. We have a 3-day action slate here. I think this, unfortunately, is going to be the worst game of all of them. I think that the NFC South, they're all about the same product there, you know. It's just nothing's really jumping off like the table. Baker's had a great year numbers-wise, probably in his whole entire career. So shout out to Baker. He's made me eat on my own words for many years when the couple in Cleveland. So I'll give him his flowers. Mike Evans, first ballot guy. I mean, 1,000 yards comes like it's nothing. Comes like Sunday paper. But I think Philadelphia, they've been playing like absolute shit. I think they finally put it all together, and I think they blow them the brakes off them 35-10.
Ooh.
Damn. You know, after sitting there and watching just so astutely the New York Giants just dismantle them in the way and the manner that they did, I think I have a form of resentment built up. I think I have some resentment here.
That's a terrible game.
And I mean, like nothing. It was like 20. I'm texting you guys every touchdown. I'm like, what is going on? So I think that Baker comes in, and I think Baker, he's on a 1-year deal there in Tampa, correct?
Yeah,
right.
It's a prove it deal.
Yeah. So it's a prove it deal. So he's saying like, I'm not what you thought I was. Like, put some respect on my name. And so I think Baker comes out and he gets a dub, and the Eagles just get sent home packing. They're talking about firing their coach already pregame, like he was in the Super Bowl last year. They started out 11-1.
That has to be the most toxic fan base, right?
Oh, it's
Philadelphia.
It's horrible. So I think that the Eagles have to go to Tampa Bay. That the Bucks win. That it's going to be like a 21-17, 21-14 type game, lower scoring. Even though you got AJ Brown, he's going to be pissed. I think it's going to be like a 21-17 game.
He's going to be pissed.
Gotcha.
Darian, that's ballsy.
I think it's a good prediction.
Yeah, that's ballsy. I don't know if – yeah, you do. God, you do. I don't think anyone can necessarily fault you the way that the Eagles are playing. They're looking like – I don't want to use the word fraudulent, but kind of fraudulent. And then it doesn't help that today A.J. Brown is it yesterday maybe, but he wasn't practicing still. And then you got Jalen Hurts, who hasn't thrown a football yet. Nice part is it's going to be warm for him down there, so being able to grip the ball might come a little easier. But, Darian, I am totally on board with you. I think the Eagles stink. I think they're going to possibly fire their head coach after this. It's going to be a big problem. And then Baker's going to earn a contract and stay down in Tampa Bay. Normally I would say this isn't going to happen. But everything's pointing in the direction for me to lean that Buccaneers go on top in a big-time scoring game, because the defense is just not where it used to be for the Eagles. I'm going to say 35-31.
Wow.
Bucks.
You're talking an old Western. An old Western shootout. Nice
weather. I love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. I like that. Wow.
You're torn.
This one I've been back and forth about, but I do agree. I mean, ever since the Eagles, I think they played them in Philly, but ever since they played the Niners, this team has been broken. And I don't know what happened, if it's the locker room, the coaches. It's got to be a mixture of something. They've had injuries, obviously. Jalen's banged up. A.J. Brown's banged up. Their defense went from literally the most dominant defense in the league to now they're bottom in every category, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that happens. But it just shows you that they're not the same team right now. And I feel like they've been showing everybody, and it's going to show up again on, what is it, Sunday? They play Sunday?
Yeah.
Monday.
I think it's going to show up again on Sunday or Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is I had to watch the Bucks score 9 points versus the Carolina Panthers the last week as well. So when I think about the game, I think it's not going to be very high scoring. I feel like Baker's going to make a couple more plays, and I believe
I know, but you have to.
I believe the Bucks. My God, I don't know. I'm stuck.
You don't want to say it,
but I'm going to go with my gut. 21-17, Tampa Bay.
Come on!
21-17, Tampa.
Lock it in.
Krill, did you take the Eagles? Are you the only one on Eagles?
I'm with it.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's huge.
I said it. I did it. I'm
did it.
sticking with it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Let's keep track. We'll keep track of this, the records, and then in the comments, comment what the punishment should be for a person in last place. All right, what we want to know. You guys come with some crazy
Or reward
ideas.
for first.
Or reward for
Yes,
first.
and we need a prize for the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, prize for first.
Yes.
Ooh,
Every time.
Winners win.
And then an overall winner.
Yes.
I like this.
This is perfect. So, Krill, we appreciate you, brother. Do a little round the league. Holy hell.
Great work.
Yeah, great work on
Round the
that.
league.
We appreciate you, brother.
Hey,
Are we going to do Rushman and get out of here, boys?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
let's get
are.
Let's roll, boys.
Let's do it.
Listen, you already know what time it is. My favorite segment of the show, unbiased opinion. It's the Rushman of the week. We got 3 different guys all balling out, doing their thing. There was a ton of candidates, obviously, but we had to whittle it down to 3. And the first guy, number 3, this dude, I know him very well. I've known him for years. Played him when I was a younger player. He was over with the Chargers. He was one of the better rushers in the league. He's gone to a few different places. This time, coming basically off the couch, free agent, and he stepped into a role where it's desperately needed. In Miami, obviously all the injuries, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb out for the year. Melvin Ingram, our number 3 this week, has stepped up and has done a great job for the time being. You know, he stepped in literally the end of the season, comes in the final week of the year, has 5 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and a TFL. Melvin Ingram, another dude's been doing it for a long time, and the fact that he's been able to step in literally off of no training camp, no games, and ball out the way he did, it's a major respect to him. That means he's putting in the work. He's continuously kept, grinding regardless of, where he was at, what his situation was. So this dude's a legend. He's been in the league for a long time. He's done a lot of great things, and I got a lot of respect for him. He's an awesome dude. So big shout out to Melvin Ingram. You're our number 3 Rushman of the week, brother.
Let's go, baby. Hell yeah.
All right, boys. Number 2, very good friend of mine. Spent a lot of time together. We got drafted together. This dude is hilarious. Obviously, everyone knows for, he's most famous, not only for being an all-pro and being a Pro Bowler consistently, but also sneezing and saying God bless you to himself on camera.
Thank you.
In his pre-draft interview. He said, bless you. It's my guy. It's my guy, Quentin Williams. This dude is a character. He's hilarious, but he's also one of the most dominant 3 techniques in football. The dude's ceiling doesn't exist, and he's only gotten better every single year. Another guy, balling out on a weekly basis, 3 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 TFLs to end the season. The Jets, which is honestly insane. I just seen something. They were ranked the 32nd offense and the number 1 defense this year in the league, which is nuts. So you got to give a ton of credit to the Jets on the defensive side of things, because the fact that, they've lost a lot of games, the fact that they still have been able to be the number 1 defense in the league, it's just a credit to all those guys and the players in that locker room and the coaches pushing them. So big shout out to Quentin Williams. Like I said, one of the better dudes in the league as a player and as a person. Got a ton of respect for the dude. So big shout out to Big Q. You're our number 2 Rushman of the week.
Let the big dogs eat.
Big dog.
God bless you, Q.
God bless you. God bless you.
God bless you.
And our number 1, Another guy. I know our guy over here, Dustin Creel, is going to be super fired up about this one.
Yeah, he is. Banking and
this
shit.
This dude is an inspiration to me. Me and him, obviously on a competitive level, we're both, fighting for that number one spot, to be the best at what we do. Got a ton of respect for him. We communicate, regularly. And unfortunately, he's not going to be playing this week. Obviously, our boy Dustin Creel over here, our great, friend of ours, is honestly the biggest fan of him in the world, even though it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. It's all good, but I respect it. TJ, this dude is an absolute baller. Last week of the season, 8 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs. End of the year with a bang, and unfortunately, he didn't even finish the game. He banged up his knee and is not going to be playing versus Buffalo this week, which is super unfortunate for them. But at the end of the day, this dude is one of the best. I mean, he inspires me in a way, and, we have that friendly competition where, it's every week we're duking it out. We played against each other this year. I got a sack, he got a sack, I got a sack, and he's looking on the sideline, like shaking his head, and he's getting ready, like it was like that. So this dude, we communicate regularly. Even though we're oppositions, we still got that mutual respect where we're still trying to, be the greatest at what we do. So this dude finishing the year with a bang. Got a ton of respect for him. My brother, Dustin Creel's best friend.
Let's go.
Look at him glowing.
Yeah,
glowing.
He's pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congrats, Creel, TJ.
Yeah.
That's all time right there.
Major shout out to TJ though. Big shout out to TJ.
Yeah, really quick before you close it out, Max. For everybody back home, Condor Cartel, everyone that's been following along and curious about what's going to happen to the Rush here in the offseason, some things are going to change up, definitely. But one thing for sure throughout the playoffs, you're going to have Max still going through and announcing his top 3 Rushmen, just because obviously the guy knows ball in that position better than anyone. So he's going to give his vote every single week through the playoffs. But it's going to change a little, meaning we're going to have a lot of guests come on. We got a lot of cool stuff planned with the Pro Bowl, Super Bowl that like we hit on, but a lot of guests, a lot of podcast feel. Just a great way to continue delivering things to you guys. So let us know what you want to watch, people you're interested in hearing from. So we'll get that over to all of you guys. But really, really appreciative of the support and everything you guys have been doing. So wouldn't be here without you. And next season, the Rush in season will be part 2 of next year, and it's going to be even better. But this offseason is just going to be a slow build up until that. So Raider Nation, everybody else tuning in, I know I truly appreciate it. We truly appreciate it. Max, did I miss anything as far as where we went, off season?
No, I feel like, we could just, add this to the closeout, but this is, at the end of the day, we're going to be bringing y'all the content you guys want, the content you guys need, and we're just going to keep building this thing to to where we plan on going. So we're going to have, like you said, a bunch of new guests, having people on the show. We're going to have more vlogs. We're going to be traveling a little bit, doing our thing, interviewing different people all across the world. It's going to be incredible. So everyone keep tuning in, keep subscribing, keep commenting, keep liking right down below, and keep doing your thing. So we appreciate you guys. Without you guys, none of this would exist. We love y'all. Keep supporting the Rush. Go get your merch. Obviously, you see the Rush merch. We got it in here. Y'all keep buying that up and keep posting it. We're going to repost everything. And we just appreciate all the love and support. So this is episode 15 of The Rush with all my brothers, Brogan, DT, Creel. We love you guys. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.